Nick,
Yo.
it's time for your topic. But before we jump into that, it's time to thank all the May Patreon subscribers. Thank you all for your support and your lovely faces.
Thank you so much.
All the interaction on patreon.com. Nick, what's your topic?
I have to go to the bathroom. Sorry. I love you so much.
It's fine.
I'll be right back.
So, Nick, we've thanked them now. What's your topic?
My topic has something to do with where we just came back from, MomoCon.
MomoCon. Peach
Had a great time.
Con.
It is the Peach Con. It's the con for all the peach growers of Atlanta. Thankfully, they get to be a part of that show. No, these conventions always fascinate me because people go for a lot of different reasons, but I think the number one reason they go is for camaraderie, right? They get to be around like-minded friends. In our case, our community gets to sort of meet each other in person for the first time sometimes. I love hearing the fact that people come together and go, I've never actually met this person before. We've talked on the forums or on the Facebook page or via Twitter. And now we're finally meeting each other. Of course, we're hitting it off because everyone
best friends
likes the same thing. So yeah, they're going to be really good friends. But I find it fascinating because these conventions didn't exist when I was young.
When you were a youngin'.
So I often wonder if I were that age and I were so inclined to go, would I A, go, and B, would I be a cosplayer if I did go? And if I were a cosplayer, and this is the topic, sorry for the long walk.
I was going to say there's like a bunch of subcategories to this topic.
What would I go as? So what are you guys' thoughts on cosplaying in general? Because it's kind of a crazy thing to see. You see it in pictures, but when you're walking around and you see the sheer amount of energy and creativity that goes into these costumes, how does that sit with you? Do you think it's absurd? Is it cool? Is it fun? And lastly, what would you go as if the Kind of Funny crew had to cosplay? With or without Portillo?
So wait, are we kids now or adults, or is this all different questions?
As an adult, how do you view cosplay? And if you had to dress up, gun to the head, what would you go as?
I love cosplay.
Yeah,
I think it's amazing. Mm-hmm. The amount of detail people put into it blow me away. My favorite holiday, Halloween. Best holiday of all time. I love Halloween. And so, I was always the kid who my mom made me costumes and worked at her sewing machine, made me all these different Ghostbuster suits, and then she'd give them to me and I would immediately critique something that's not movie accurate. You know what I mean? Get her really pissed off at me.
God, she must have hated you.
She fucking despised me, and it's the reason we don't speak anymore. But as I grew older, right, and I love my mom. She talks to me all the time. Sadly. No, I'm kidding, Mom. No.
Jesus, Miller.
Come on, have some fun. It's the GameOverGreggy show. Watch, Colin, we're doing it.
You came out of her vagina, for Christ's sake.
Then you do it. See? Now I'm going to do it to you.
Can I itch my eye? I've been trying to itch my eye for 15 seconds.
It's got an itchy eye, for Christ's sake.
So when I got my Ghostbusters costume, started actually making my movie accurate one, I made sure I got the patches from the right people, the right flight suit, made a few changes. So when I see somebody there and their proton pack lights up and does all this amazing shit, that's when I'm like, fuck, that's awesome. And then you start talking about like the ones that aren't even easy to do, right? Like mine's Ghostbusters is easy to do. Now you can buy everything from Think Geeker if you want, really, or whatever. Maddie Toys, Maddie Collector. But yeah, you see these people who, first off, are putting together amazing costumes, have amazing physiques, do all this. Like, I'm blown away every time I see cosplay, which is why, as an adult, I don't think I'll ever do cosplay because I don't have a body for any of the characters I love.
You can go. I mean, you can always default to Ghostbusters.
Well, yeah, no, I already do the Ghostbuster
exactly
shtick.
Jacked.
I already do the Ghostbuster shtick. That's one thing, but that's like played out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you see these people out there. Like, there was a great Superman walking around the con that was amazing, right? Yeah. And then, of course, there's a million attractive women dressed as Street Fighter characters who are like basically in their bikinis,
basically naked.
Yeah. Holy crap! Like good on you, Jessica Nigiri. Every photo she posts of anything, Nigri. You know what I mean?
Nigri.
Really?
Nigri.
Sorry, Jessica. I've never said your last name correctly.
And it's one of those things where you've seen it for so long until
I just read it. I'm always like Nigiri, like sushi, right?
True story. And this is a sort of non sequitur. When I was reading Harry Potter, I thought it was Cyrus Black until someone said, "No, it's Sirius." Like the star.
Sure.
And I was
I feel like that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right now, the one thing I've always thought of is if I ever broke down and quit Team Fat and was going to get in shape and was going to work out and was going to do...
what you're doing right now.
Yeah,
so basically, when do I work out? When do I work out?
You quit Team Fat a long time ago.
If I was to get into shape and get it all together, I think I could make a really good-looking Kingdom Come Superman. Because like Alex Ross Superman is not like... cut abs, you know what I mean?
Big.
He's big. Bulky. He's stocky. He's got that thing. And like, and I already have the graying going on too. If I would just have to gray this out a little bit more.
You could get big.
Yeah,
by
I
the
could.
way. You've got the structure and the.
I could also learn to play piano, but then in both situations, video games came along, and I'm like, well, fuck this.
That's true. That's true. I'm just saying, if you were so inclined, you have the physique where you would get you could probably get pretty.
I would get, as
jacked.
you say,
if you wanted to work
yacked.
with my trainer Courtney, who is in New Zealand right now, currently checks in with me once every month.
Do you work out in front of him on Skype?
No, but he goes. What happens is this: he's very, very kind. And he checks in with me to make sure that I'm doing the exercises, and I always I don't lie to him. But I don't 100% tell him the truth because I'm a little bit lazy.
Does he watch the show?
Yeah, he watches the show. And he knows I'm lying to him because he can clearly see that that I'm not getting jacked out of my mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, he checks in with me and does that. I mean, I can refer him to you if you want. If you
No,
want to start
I don't
working
want
out.
to do this.
He'll
It's
give
too
you
much
a good
work, for
workout
sure.
for your triceps and chest. A little bit of back. He'll work you full body. He gives you the full body workouts. They're
Okay.
great workouts. I mean, you feel
Sure.
good. And it releases the endorphins. What
Yeah,
the
you
hell are
seem
we
like you
talking
feel
about?
great all the time.
I felt like shit yesterday.
Yeah, all the time. Cosplay. And then a shout out before I pass the baton to anybody else. At MomoCon, there was an awesome Shovel Knight walking around.
Yes.
Awesome
It was
Shovel
awesome.
Knight.
For me, cosplay is really interesting because, when you're first exposed to it, it's kind of just like, oh, it's like Halloween when it's not Halloween. It's just
Right.
people in costume. But then it's like once you get into it on a level that we are just by default of the industries that we cover, you realize that it's like it is not just costumes. It's different. There's a very distinct difference between cosplay and costume. And I think you can see it even when we go to the show floors when there's just someone wearing something that they bought off of a website
Right.
versus somebody that made this and
Made the
crafted
costume,
it and
yeah.
like really thought about it and custom made the stuff. And that's not to say that you can't just buy the stuff and that doesn't count or whatever, because like there is something to looking like the person and like wearing the right costume for who you are or whatever it is for who you are. But even then, there's something you said about the people that do not look like the character at all, but because their costume's so good, it still has that feel. Or if they do something unique or whatever, and like it's interesting that I'm now friends with a lot of people that do professional cosplay, and it's interesting that it's a lifestyle to them. Like it's not just I dress up and it's kind of fun. It's like they love, like in the same way that I love making videos and
Sure.
love doing this stuff, they love making costumes. They love thinking about what their next thing's going to be.
Learning
and
new skills
Learning
for
new
it.
skills and like actually crafting, like creating, like 3D printing and like
Right.
doing all this stuff. And it's like, it's really cool seeing them get into it and people getting excited about what's the next thing they're going to do.
I forget if it was Vampy or if it was Meg, but one of them was like getting super excited because they were going to learn like leather making. You know what I mean? So for their next costume, they can make their own holsters and you're like,
Yeah,
geez,
that's all-
like
I
I
mean-
would just like Google, and try to find this to
Yeah.
buy it and have it.
But they don't want that.
Yeah, I
they
know.
want, they
But that's
want
how it
to
started
make it.
for them, and then eventually their level of love and passion for this like takes you where all of us do. Where you for instance went from like looking at other people that were making videos to going, I can do that.
Yeah.
And now learning those skills every day, and then realizing, holy shit! Like it's that 1 second where you have to admit to yourself, like, oh, this is a lifelong endeavor. I'm going to do this forever, and I'm just going to keep getting better at it. But I don't. That's not what it's not about reaching something. It's about just having fun and
Doing it,
progressing
yeah.
and learning new shit and like getting better at it.
And that's kind of the cool thing. So like you brought up Vampy. Like for me, I remember the first cosplay I saw of her was her Tifa one from Final Fantasy VII. And like it's pretty damn spot on. It's
Right.
like, damn, you have the body for that and you have the look for that and the costume was perfect. So it's like great. But then as I start seeing her do it in a bunch of different ones, it's like it's to the point now where it's like it's not even about the character so much as it's about her. And it's just like it's cool seeing her do things.
Her interpretation
and,
of it, or-
Jessica Nigri, that's a whole different thing where like she has a very unique style. When you look at her stuff, it's like she has a very sexy style. She has a very like I'm gonna take this thing and make it sexy.
Yeah.
And
She sort
her
of like
costumes-
reverse engineers it like Cook would do, right?
Yeah.
Where like I'm just gonna take the great
How can I make
elements
this
of
as
this
small
and like
as possible? But it's like, but there's an art to it though. Like it's good because
it's not
like,
pornographic, and that's the thing. She does it to a point where you're like, that is actually a tasteful level of sexiness.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting because it's like you can almost look at just the costume and be like, oh, that looks like a Jessica Nigri costume,
Right.
And that's cool. Like that's art. You
Yeah.
know, and I think a lot of people overlook that and just look at it and it's just like they'll have all their comments and they'll say their things, but it's like there's so much thought put into these
Sure.
things and so much just like weird decisions that need to be made and just the sheer stress and shit that you put your body through wearing these
Oh my
outfits
God,
is
yeah.
insane. The heat you need to deal with, having to carry the props, making sure that you're not breaking the 3D printed whatever the hell
Yeah,
belts
yeah.
that you made. Like there's so much of that stuff that goes into it. It's like think of the most uncomfortable Halloween costume you've ever had to wear
Yeah.
when you were trick-or-treating and how upset you were that night. Knowing that you were going to get the candy, so it was all good,
Yeah.
but just upset at the shit that you had to deal with.
Yeah.
But imagine that when every 5 seconds, motherfuckers like me are stopping you to ask to take a picture and all that stuff. And it's like, oh,
well, that's the payoff too.
But that's
you know
the thing.
what I mean?
That's their moment. And it's like, it's always great for me to see like my friends like Sheena from like the Rooster Teeth family.
Yeah.
She's fucking awesome. And like she does a whole bunch of different cosplays, and it's great to see her taking pictures with stuff. And a lot of her posts are just her with people that want to take pictures with her.
Right.
And it's like, it's cool that it goes both ways, that it's like we want to take pictures with them, but then they also want pictures with other people, kind of validating what they do, because what they do, a lot of people don't see as like a real thing. So, and what's also interesting to me is I feel like a lot of these people, like, you know, we think like, what would we dress as? We obviously jump to the things that we like, you know, like the game franchises we love, or the Superman or whatever.
Yeah.
It's interesting to me to see some of these people dressed as characters, like for anime characters where they don't watch the anime or whatever. And it's like, it's always that weird, unique interpretation of like, they just like making the costume. Like they're dressing as this person because they thought that costume was a nice challenge that they wanted to try to do.
Right.
And it's like, there's just so many different aspects. Then there's the complete opposite of that of they love this character. They've invested for years, so it means something to them.
That's the camp I would fall into if I was, because like the work and stuff, when you follow these people on Instagram or on their Twitters, like the work and hours and all the stuff that goes into it, I would have to be like making something that I'm super, super into and believe in, right? Like, because even like I've kicked around, like I thought about like maybe I would cosplay as Teddy from Persona, but then how the fuck do I know to build a Teddy costume? And I was like, that's fucking impossible. And then sure enough, at MomoCon this year, Teddy rode the escalator down past me, and the guy had to head off and was just melting and disgusting. And I'm like, yep. And it's like at PAX East last time when I went and hosted that Borderlands party. The Borderlands community is fucking crazy about cosplay, and they're awesome at it. You know what I mean? There's so many amazing things. But there was a dude who came in a claptrap outfit he made. And it was that, you know, he got there and the party's like 3 or 4 hours long, and then there's like a costume contest at the end of it. So like after 30 minutes of being there, he was just like leaning the thing on a couch, like him in it still. He refused to get out of it because he wanted to take photos and move the arms and do and I was like, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to see. And then, you know, with me, like, I love Disney princesses. It's kind of my thing at this point. It's kind of like part of my character. And it's like a joke, but it's like, I legitimately, I love Disney, you know? And so it's like, Disney princesses are going to be a thing that are at every convention. You're going to see people dress up as any of them. There's so many now. And it's cool because they're always slightly different variations. Because they sell costumes for those things, but most of those, the people make them in some way. And it's cool seeing all the different little variations and stuff. And it's like, I love the interpretations, but when you see someone that's really nailing it, you're like, that's Disneyland quality. And it's like, good for you, you know? And like, when the best thing is when they act in character and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, at MomoCon, I saw...
you saw a bunch.
There was a whole bunch, but there was an
everybody.
Alice and a Mad Hatter. And the Mad Hatter was like asked to take a picture, and he was just like talking all crazy and shit. I'm like,
You
that's
punched him in the
fucking
face.
Yeah, I did. But, you know, it was fucking awesome. It sucked for him.
That's
but,
why every time I see an Octodad, I yell, why does everybody want to take a photo with that guy in a suit?
That's really funny.
Because remember Octodad, the story, well, of course, he was hidden.
I remember very well.
Yeah.
How could I
Just
forget?
making sure. Colin, who would you cosplay as?
I don't know who I cosplay as though. For the last question, like I've thought about it a long time. Solid Snake was my answer a long time.
I mean, wouldn't it be the
ago.
Green
Just a
Ranger?
white
Why
dude.
wouldn't you be the Green Ranger?
You should be the Green Ranger.
Because I mean, I just don't have that.
Or the better
hair
of the two
is
Rangers.
another thing, man.
The Red Ranger.
Yeah,
But
best
I
Ranger.
mean, like, it's your spin on it. If you were in a dope ass Green Ranger outfit and you were walking
I
around
go
with a
White
helmet,
Ranger. White
Okay,
Ranger's good.
okay.
I want white.
We should go.
it's
with
Jason,
that
David, Frank. Either way, we don't mind.
Yeah,
You and I
it'd be
should
good.
go. I should go as the Green Ranger, and you should go as the White Ranger, and we should
I'll go
just
as Pink
stare
Ranger.
at each other, not understanding. Like I don't understand what the difference is between the two the entire
Yeah,
time.
all right, that works for me.
The one thing that fascinates me about this whole thing is that most of the people that go there don't give a shit what other people think about them. Like they do in a degree of like they want people to respect and appreciate that they're part of the community. But as far as their body images are concerned, I'm always fascinated and almost inspired by how free people are. Because there is no fucking way I would show my stomach at one of these events. I would not wear a costume that showed any of the parts of my body that I am not 100% okay
You
with.
ain't seeing them Nick cheeks.
You're not seeing. Well, I mean, my ass is fantastic. First of all, so you can see my ass. Pretty much anything from waist down is great. Anything but my waist. But you know what I mean. So you see these people walking around, and they don't like. If they were celebrities, there's no way they would wear this stuff because they would want to make sure that they had makeup and all this stuff, and like if the lighting was correctly and stuff like that, because you wouldn't want to be photographed like that. But these people, especially the girls that go, are so free and so like confident in themselves. That I see that and I'm like, that is fucking awesome. Like, how come I can't be like that? How come I can't go in the ultimate cosplay that I want to go as, which is just the cut off football jersey that Keanu Reeves wore in Point Break. No, I don't know if he did that or not, but yeah, Wildcat's a perfect example where he's just like wearing it and you're like, why am I seeing your belly button right now, guy? Great abs though. But I think I'd probably go as Mega Man and just get it totally wrong just to piss Colin off.
You go as like box art Mega Man?
That'd be
That's
funny.
I could
really
actually pull
funny.
off a good box art Mega Man.
You could.
That's
Actually,
a
because you have the
funny
rosy
idea.
cheeks.
I like that.
Oh, he's out of shape too.
Is he?
Yeah.
Now, something I don't like about cosplay, and I saw this a lot at this MomoCon, and I could be wrong about this, and if I am, I apologize. But I don't like it when people just use it as an excuse to wear a costume, because it's like you're missing the point of this. Like when people are just wearing like a giraffe like onesie.
Okay.
It's like,
Or the kid with a banana. We had a fan come up with a
Yeah,
banana.
it's like-
but to be honest
he was
with you,
in banana
that made me
costume.
laugh. And I was like, thank you for wearing that
but
banana.
it's one of those things where it's like, I wonder why they did that. If it was like
Maybe it's their starter. It's
if-
their starter drug on this
But
whole
if
thing.
it's like the banana was, if he is cosplaying as a specific banana,
No.
Internet banana, peanut butter and jelly
yeah,
time.
but
Peanut
that's the thing.
butter.
I think the banana
All right.
was to make fun of everyone else that was walking around.
No
he was
way.
No,
I don't
it
think
was
so.
a commentary of some sort. I don't think it was, hey, everyone's cosplaying. I want to be part of this community. I'm going to throw a banana on. I think it was. Everyone's dressed like idiots. I'm going to put a banana on.
Banana dude,
and be
please,
an idiot as well.
If you're watching this,
course
let
you
us
are.
know. I want to know because it's like that. I do want to know
Banana
the answer to that
dude.
question is why did you dress like a banana? Why did you dress like a giraffe? Why did you dress like these things that are just like, I don't think these are characters. I could be wrong because
Maybe they
the
are.
world is vast. There's so many different things. And that's the thing. There's not rules to cosplay. It's
Right.
not like it's only anime people or only, like there's Disney princesses. What the fuck? You know, like, that's not really a thing in terms of like,
Oh, it's a real thing.
oh, it's a real damn thing.
It's all perfect.
But, you know.
Oh, it's all perfectly legal. I wish I had a body for Spider-Man as well.
Yeah,
a
Spider-Man's
dope
good.
ass Spider-Man costume.
I mean, spandex in general. I just wish I could rock them.
you
no
could,
one can,
you could.
though.
I can wear them.
You have to be
Can't
like
rock 'em.
Andrew Garfield level skinny.
Andrew Goldfarb. Colin, cosplay thoughts, and
Yes.
who would you cosplay as?
I mean, I'm not a fan of cosplay personally, but I mean, you can do whatever you want. That's totally fine. I appreciate it. My whole thing is more kind of to Tim's point that if you're gonna do it, I think you should do it right. I see a lot of great cosplay, and then I see things that seem a little half-assed to me that I don't quite understand. But to each his own. I mean, if that's what you want to do. My favorite thing about cosplay is watching other people that have no idea what's going on look at people in cosplay. And when you're in places like we were at MomoCon, where you're in CNN Center, there's a lot of serious people there, and then in the hotel where a lot of people are staying. And my favorite thing was watching them watching cosplayers.
My story to that, and I'll let you get back to it, is the fact that I remember once I got a cab at PAX Prime, and how when you leave PAX. No, I'm sorry, PAX East. So because you walk out and there's that West in there. I got the cab there, I Ubered it, and then came around the corner, and then we were stuck in the traffic trying to get out of the West. And Vampy Bit Me was over there, and she was in her Zero Suit Samus outfit with the Metroid like on her head or in her hand by her head. And the guy's like, "What the hell is that?" And I had explained what all this was. Sorry.
Well, it's a Metroid.
My only thing is that I get disappointed when I see people not being self-aware of where they should cosplay, and what I mean by that is like there's always one or two people at E3 that are cosplaying, and I'm like, no, you don't cosplay. It's not a show for cosplaying.
This is an industry show.
But it's fun if that's what you want to do. That's great. I was talking to Tim about it, and I'm like, people would expect so little of me in terms of like cosplaying or doing that I would love to do like just in secret. Just like the most ornate thing you've ever seen in your life, and then just show up at one of these shows.
That'd be awesome.
Like, and I was saying that
This is Galactus.
I would love to go.
Whoa.
I'd love to go as day to day. But
That would be amazing.
But the thing about day to day, there was a day to day at the show, and he actually was pretty cool, like a guy, but he didn't have like a mask on or anything like that. The thing about day to day is it's not right without the face. So that would cost like it has to be that crazy like. Like that sociopathic.
But
Like
you
I'm
can
gonna
do that
kill
face.
you with this hammer. I'm
You
gonna
just
kill
nailed
you
that
with
face.
But I want the like his face. I would love to get a mask, like a really beautifully done mask that I could wear. And if I could do that, then I'd probably just do day to day and just be him or whatever. Because I feel like I've never ever in my life seen good Mega Man cosplay. Like it's just one of those things where like you can't do it. Like they have huge arms, they have huge legs, they're squat. They're supposed to be short. Mega Man's like 4.5 feet tall. So it's like it's not. There's certain things that I love that I don't. Yeah, that's like the outfit's fine. The face is not right.
Fucking amazing day to day.
Will you send that to me?
Yeah.
But the face is what the essence of day-to-day is, that face.
Yeah.
So like that's the big problem with me. But the things that I really love, like the things that I would dress up as, is like nothing for Mega Man's gonna work except for maybe Wily would be fun.
You could
and Greg and I
Wily.
could do Wily and Light probably, because Greg's like kind of a little bigger than I, and he could be Light and I could be Wily, and I think that'd be fun. But
That'd be cool.
But the only other cosplay I'd like to do is like Simon Belmont or Trevor Belmont or something from Castlevania.
Oh my god, yes.
like
with a wig?
super
That'd be
tight
fucking
pants.
awesome.
I would get you super tight pants and like boots that had a little bit of a heel on them and like a collar that was just gorgeous with like the sort of like
leather armor.
no, I was gonna,
the dicky that
the
ruffles
dicky
out.
that ruffles out. Maybe I'm just thinking Prince. I think I just want you
You
to
are
go Prince.
doing
Yeah, you're thinking more of like Dracula than a
Yeah,
Belmont.
maybe
you're actually,
Dracula.
you're describing Bowie too.
But
I just want to
like
dress colored up in like the tightest jeans you've ever seen.
I love it.
those are the things that would be fun, but like at the same time, like I don't ever think about that and be like, this is something I want to do.
that's the
not the
thing,
way we were talking about it, like I don't like conventions really, like for those reasons. Like I like going to them and meet our fans and to like interact with our fans and do our stuff, but I don't ever have a need to go to them. And so that's just not the way I interact with like my nerdy side, my nerd culture. Like that's just not the way I do it.
Yeah.
So I've never had a drive to dress up as anything, and I don't think that I probably realistically ever will. Although when I see a great costume, I love it. Like I told you guys, I think it was at New York Comic Con last year. My favorite cosplay I've ever seen in my life were these two guys dressed as the Ice Climbers. And it was awesome, but they had like booty shorts on and like just like one of them was wearing pink, one of them was wearing like the baby blue, and they just had like booty shorts on and like just little vests.
Yeah.
And but it was perfect, like the white puff around them and like the hood, and then they just had like hammers in their hands and they were awesome. And I was like,
awesome.
they don't look like the Ice Climbers at all. Like, but like that's their interpretation of the Ice
can't
Climbers,
see
and it
them.
was
Yeah,
fucking
that's so
awesome.
good.
And they were getting stopped like every 2 seconds. I kept seeing them and like saying hey to them, like. I was like, this is brilliant because they're not trying to be, Popo and Nana, whatever the fuck their names are.
Yeah.
They're trying to be their interpretation of the Ice Climbers.
Yeah, Alfredo was sexy Diddy Kong at one point, and he just had a little brown thong and just the shirt, the little tank top.
Alfredo has a great body. I'll put it that way. There's a part of me that wants to get really yacked because I am on the shorter side and go as the Wolverine. Not
that'd be
the
awesome.
Wolverine. I'm sorry, Wolverine. Like I want to go as
the Batman.
I want to go as like brown and yellow like costume
That'd be
Wolverine
awesome.
with the freaking horns and like little puff shoulder things and just bare arms, gloves. You can leave whatever claws. You don't have to have the claws at all, but just walk.
You have
out
to
like
have the
that.
claws.
But the big boots, like I've never seen. I mean, I'm sure if I googled it right now, there'd be some amazing Wolverine costumes. But the problem with the films is that they made it so much easier to do Wolverine. 'Cause all you need is the hair
And a tank top.
and a tank top,
Cigar.
and a cigar, and you're like, oh, and the mutton and the big chops, and like that's all you really need. But I'm like, go in all and have the mask with the white eyes and like the whole thing, just be like, like the little, just 5'2"
that's awesome.
fur ball, be awesome.
Nice. I liked your topic.
Thanks.